time for Star Wars. Star Wars, The High Republic.
Hey, listen! Hey, listen!
Oh, hey, no, not you!
Listen!
What's going on, and welcome to Joe's Geek Show, the video series where we talk comics. And today we are looking at the brand new Star Wars, The High Republic issue number 1. Written by Kevin Scott with art by Ario Anindito, inks by Mark Morales, colors by Annalisa Leone, and letters by VC's Ariana Mayer. Star Wars, The High Republic is about a young Padawan named Keeve who is on the planet Sheridan accompanied by an alien native, Conry, when she is suddenly attacked by a Trandoshan with a lightsaber who, after a brief scuffle, is revealed to be her master named Skier. Keeve is then informed that she's on the planet to take her Jedi Knight trial and must reach a pendant at the top of one of the pre-selected trees, which are all old and easily breakable. Her test, however, is interrupted by a swarm of giant insects called Ridati, when we briefly cut to a place called Starlight Station and are introduced to Jedi Master Chris and Maru, as we get a fun cameo appearance by Yoda and a new Grand Master named Veeder, who proclaims Chris the new marshal and leader of Starlight Station. Back on Sheridan, Keeve contacts the station to inform them of the incident involving the Ridati and conclude that the Starlight Beacon from the station is what is drawing them. So Keeve sets a new signal in her ship and leaps out, now having it on autopilot, allowing the Ridati to follow it safely into space. Later on, while helping the Zimbi rebuild their homes, Master Skier is notified about the ship and looks stunned at the news, as he then calls for a new transport. Once back at the station, Skier brings Keeve before Jedi Master Chris, who then cuts her braid, proclaiming she is now a Jedi Knight. Later on, there's a dedication ceremony where all of the Jedi raise their sabers in the air, before coming back to Skier, who retires to his room, only to start screaming. And this book is intriguing to say the least. I mean, it definitely has a lot going, primarily with the characters, as it serves to introduce all of these brand new Star Wars characters, but not really so much go into story. Except towards the end when we start to kind of get this mystery that's beginning to surround Jedi Master Skier. And I'm actually okay with that, because I like character-driven stories. And hey, speaking of characters, we have Keeve, who's quite obviously our central protagonist, as it's her internal dialogue that's really driving the story. She's a character that uses Star Wars universe profanity quite a bit. She seems to be smart, confident, brash, and assuming a lot of what's going on around her, sometimes a little too much. Which I think has to do a little bit more with all of her internal dialogue. Which there's nothing wrong with that in moderation. Because one of the big things that this book definitely has going for it is the artwork. And there are a lot of times where I'm reading the dialogue, like her internal thoughts in the box, and I'm also seeing it on the page. Also joining the fray, we've got Jedi Master Chris and Jedi Master Skier, who are both interesting characters to say the least. Though we don't get to know them quite as much as Keeve, but that's okay. One of the reasons for that is the information that we get with these characters, primarily with Chris as soon as she is named the new Marshal of Starlight Station, and then Skier once again bringing up the sort of mystery surrounding his character at the end of the book about why he's screaming. There's a lot to speculate about these two characters and where their story could go from here. With Chris, I think it's quite obvious that as the new Marshal, she's going to face certain challenges with having to keep, the order in line, making sure everyone's doing their job and so on. And with Skier, just waiting to see how the plot develops with him, because I definitely feel there's a story here. Quite possibly the ship that Keeve sent off into space may have had something in it that Skier wanted or needed. Because if we go back to the first panel when Keeve tells her master about the ship, he's sort of got this really wide look on his face, and his entire attitude changes almost instantaneously. Like from his facial expressions to the way he carries himself, I think is very telling. Also, Yoda cameo. Gotta love the fan service. And again, I just want to bring up the art, because this is definitely one of the biggest highlights of the book. From the illustrations to the colors, everything just works spectacularly here. The pictures and the colors are very vibrant. These worlds do feel massive, big, and sci-fi-like. It does feel like a Star Wars universe. There's also a lot of good angles and camera work going on, like during the action sequences. They're very like three-dimensional. They pop off the page a bit, which also helps me to visualize it in more of a motion setting. Almost like I would be watching a movie in my head right off the page. And just overall that I'm getting a very good experience of this world. Plus, hey, double-bladed green lightsaber. Nice. Now, when it comes to criticisms of the book, they are very minor. Like, as I had previously mentioned, just maybe one too many thought boxes off Keeve. I do think the book could benefit from a few less. Mostly because, again, the art just conveys everything so well. And then there's also the one scene where Keeve, she's falling down off of one of the trees, and she uses her lightsaber to jab it into the tree and stops herself. Now, I've seen a lot of Star Wars, I've played a lot of Star Wars games, I've read a lot of Star Wars books, and I'm pretty sure you can't just stop yourself like from falling down by jamming your lightsaber into something, because the lightsaber would just kind of continuously cut it like butter. In my mind, this would be kind of the equivalent of falling, you see a rope, you grab the rope, but the rope isn't attached to anything, you'd still be falling. Also, as a small little quick one, Canry, the tiny little guy, he really gave me Navi flashbacks to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The way he was just hovering around Keeve and just constantly in her ear, I felt annoyed for her. And I gotta say, overall, though it's not a particularly deep story as of right now, it is still very fun. There's a lot of intrigue surrounding the new characters, it's got some great art, a few minor nitpicks, but at the end of it, I do want to keep reading this one. It satisfies my inner Star Wars geek, and I'm going to score Star Wars The High Republic issue number 1 an 8 out of 10. So Star Wars The High Republic issue number 1, what did you think about this book if you read it? I would love to hear your thoughts. Please leave your comments in the comment section below. And if you liked this video, I'd love it if you'd smash that like button, share it with some friends. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and ring that notification bell for more comic book content. Alright, take care, have a great day, and as always, stay geeky, and as well, may the Force be with you.